Today I will show you 3 houses of various sizes, but they are all distinctive due to their minimalist style and detailed craftsmanship. Designed by Fran Silvestre Arquitectos, based in Valencia, Spain, known for their prominent style around the globe. ZROBIM Architects team and I are inspired by the colleagues how efficiently beautiful they are designed. The designs are so complex that they look like computer renders instead of real houses. It seems impossible, it's crazy, but these houses are actually built, and the architecture is truly unique. You know they're super premium villas, but today we are exploring another project that is a vision of the homes of the future, if you will. Fran has an idea to democratize architecture so that more people can live in such gorgeous houses. This is the basic model, 500 feet, the smallest house we will show today. If we calculate exactly the internal area of the living space, we get 380 feet. That is, on the thermal circuit, roughly speaking, although in Spain, the warm circuit, it's like the whole country, you know? But let's say on the thermal circuit of the house, we get 380 feet. Accordingly, this is the entrance to the house, a front yard, and here is a small terrace on the northern side, as is customary in Spain. So here we have a shaded, very pleasant terrace. The majority of the sliding wall is made of glass, meaning it serves as a sliding partition through which we enter the living space of the house. This area has a walk-in closet that can be accessed from both sides, enhancing the open plan feel. From here, we enter the living room and dining area. Interestingly, the kitchen is actually a separate room, and in all houses here, kitchens are not part of the living space. This makes sense to prevent cooking smells from permeating the entire house. Meals are prepared separately. Also, the kitchen has some room for a small breakfast table. This space is intended for meals and entertaining guests, while another area is set aside for quick snacks. This is a living room that opens up to a large terrace with a pool. Here is a shared guest bathroom and 2 bedrooms. Well, it is implied that one is a children's room and the other could be for parents. Additionally, on this side there is a primary bedroom, meaning the owner's suite, complete with a large closet and its own bathroom. So these 380 feet include 2 bathrooms, a primary bedroom, 2 additional bedrooms, a kitchen and a hallway, a dining room and a living room. This is how the space is optimized. This is practically a minimalist's house, nearly made of a single material, but I want to talk about its materials by comparing it to the next house, which is a bit bigger in size. This is a medium-sized house of 720 feet. Here the terraces are considered living areas, and it is quite justified because the climate is southern. People love to spend time on terraces, and in general, they can be included as part of the overall area of the house. We see the minimalist volume of the second floor. We do not see a single window, and it stands on a completely glass volume of the first floor. The glass part is transparent, which looks really nice. This gives the impression that the heavy upper section is floating above the lower part, which is quite striking. This is even more interesting because the upper volume contains the bedrooms, and in reality there are windows. They are just positioned on the building sides, allowing the house to be installed from all 4 sides. Talking about a minimalist building volume, the material it's made from is crucial. To be honest, from the pictures I thought it was plaster since I hadn't seen the panel cross-sections. And I already had many questions. I was coming here and wanted to ask how you use plaster, as it is quite humid in summer, and likely the plaster will absorb moisture, destroy, and turn to yellow. Basically, these flaws appear quite ugly on a minimalist house after a few years. So this is for sure not plaster. Imagine that the entire house feels like your kitchen countertop, meaning it is very pleasant to the touch. This material is known as crayon, made by Porcelanosa, which is the most famous Spanish manufacturer. As you might realize, this material is expensive, long-lasting, and has a very nice tactile quality. For some reason, it is almost never used on building facades in northern climate. Here in Spain, it is used on building facades, and it's great that it transitions from the facade to the interior, We can slightly open up this windows. And from here, you can see particularly well that this is our facade. And here is our interior. This is absolutely the same material, meaning that the floor covering visually transitions into the terrace, because here and on the terrace and in the interior, the same tiles are present. There's more texture here and less there, but they match in color, and the facade blends into the interior design. It's truly beautiful. Being here, I have to mention the glazing. It's one of the prettiest window frames I've come across. First of all, it has a more formatted design, meaning these are very large sliding structures. It is mounted on quite thin, almost imperceptible supporting frame. And take a look at this handle. We are accustomed to seeing a handle that can be turned, raised, or pulled to access this door. Everything here is arranged in a completely different way. There's a thin piece that resembles a mullion and transom window frame, which acts as the handle. We hold on to it from the interior and slide it open. Similarly, on the other side, there's a small locking mechanism that allows it to close to stop anyone from getting into your house. Let's now circle around to the back of the house. Here's another terrace. It's on the north side, according to the sun. This is where the house entrance is situated. Interestingly, there is no traditional entrance door. There's just sliding glazing that can also be pushed aside to enter, and it operates via a remote control or a mobile app. A very minimalist fence, very minimalist garage doors, just simple mono-material blocks. What's more, there's a transparent fence here and some Spanish plant is winding around it, apparently some local ivy that fills these spaces rather quickly, creating a cozy courtyard. Overall, it should be mentioned that this resembles an expo village, which means these are expo homes that we can see now, for example, as potential buyers, but they could eventually be sold, turning this into a housing development. Right now, this village is in what we might call the finalization phase, and it should be noted that everything here is somewhat modular, meaning there's a proven approach to technology, and everything is done super quickly. For example, there's rolled turf, which hypothetically we came here yesterday and it wasn't there, and today we arrive and they're already mowing it. Of course, I am exaggerating about the time frame, but in fact everything is constructed much faster than a normal construction site. When the algorithm is fine-tuned, they put slabs under the parking lot, they put concrete slabs that lead to the house, put up a fence, put on the facade. That is, in fact, the system has been worked out here, and such communities in the future will be assembled in a super short time. There is no point in making any kind of canopy here, as in our climate, because the precipitation is much less. And from here, a person can either walk to the front door or to the terrace. And the terrace hosts such a beautiful pool. The pool is also modular. The solution is so well developed that they can be added at any time. You can order a house, live in it, decide that you need a pool, and they will install it for you, set up separate equipment, dig, and lay down a beautiful lawn, install pathways with paving slabs, and in general, it will all look lovely. Notably, this established system has a limited palette of colors to maintain a design code. When we were chatting with the architects, I noticed they have wood paneling here too. Rather uncommon. They said, yes, but you know, it's a small issue. We all understand that white is more beautiful. Their designs are all sculptural, single volume, and monochromatic, ideally in white for a minimalist look. So much for the Spanish minimalists. Let's go in and see the interior. This is how we step into the house, from the terrace. The floor covering here is tile. Similar to that on the terrace, people don't remove their shoes, they walk around the house in them. The climate is warm, so almost no one wears jackets, which is why there's no entryway. This house has 3 entrances. This is the entrance from the backyard. This is the entrance from the terrace. Let's call this the front yard, which is near the gate. And probably from the front yard we can go into the kitchen or the living room. It's somewhat confusing for me since in our climate we usually have a dirty zone in the house where people come in with shoes and take off their jackets, and then they move into the clean area of the house. Here, the entrance goes right to the kitchen. No one takes off their coat, so we just walk around the house like we do outside. I find this very unusual. This enhances the home space significantly, enabling a very high-end design. These 50 feet of the hallway seem almost non-existent, which optimizes the layout significantly. Here we have, for example, a soft seating area and a dining zone. Next, we see a cube with utilities where the bathroom and laundry are located. Here we can see a gap through which the air conditioning works. All the utilities are located there. It's very unusual for me because if you do have a jacket, this is the only place to hang it, right in the dining room. Apparently, this is completely normal for Spain. We have built-in curtains, so they are hidden in the ceiling, and the lighting is also built in, with all utilities integrated. It's absolute minimalism. Let's head to the kitchen. Now we are entering the kitchen. Our kitchen is also unusual. This part is quite familiar to us, with a sink and a cooking surface. A section of the kitchen is integrated into these enclosed storage systems. You can see that the refrigerator opens when you press a button, thanks to the servos. We press the door and it pops open beautifully. The idea is that we take food from the fridge, unload it here, wash it, and prepare meals. So this is quite an unusual working triangle for us. And it is so elegantly carried out here, and a place for some snacks. We can also go to the stairs from here. Walking around this cube, we notice a minimalist staircase built into it. Look at the lovely shadow seam, and here is the hidden door to the restroom. It is made with the same panels, and the handle is completely invisible, matching the veneer. We also use this in our interior. Catch the link to our design. This is how you can open it, and there will be a guest restroom inside. The restroom is absolutely minimalist. Look how everything is thought out to the smallest detail. This is not just two panels joined together. It's a corner panel made of crayon that fits perfectly against the door frame, indicating a precise design plan which provided for this connection. No usual flush button exists for the installation, but a panel with integrated plumbing and a hidden button, as you can see. It's well thought out, where you'll hang towels, with a special bracket matching the vanity and a dispenser that matches the vanity, along with very convenient storage systems. Everything is made of crayon, including the sink, and here is the countertop and facade of the sink. It's just like in a boutique hotel room. You can really feel that the architect has taken care of you here. All you have to do is enjoy yourself in this house. Let's go to the second floor. See this pretty staircase, squeezed between two walls. We use this method in our projects too. Now we are in the second floor area. Notice how one wall flows into a minimalist railing for the staircase, made from the same crayon, of course. When we come up here, it's quite bright, even though this is a rather small hall. Why is it bright? The reason is that the doors to the rooms are open, and there's a massive panoramic wall that fully brightens this area. At the top, there is a light fixture like this one, which indicated to me that the ceiling is a stretch ceiling after all, and probably the first floor has a stretch ceiling too. This suggests that there are no wet processes involved here, as I initially thought it was a drywall ceiling that would be plastered and painted, but that's not the case. This is a stretch ceiling which accelerates construction even further. If this ceiling is meant to be translucent, we can install light fixtures underneath it. And this is how it looks when turned off, and this is how we can switch it on to achieve an effect resembling a second light, as if there's a window in the ceiling. There are two children's rooms on either side of the staircase. And here we also have two bedrooms, one of which is the main bedroom because it has its own bathroom and a huge walk-in closet. The second bedroom has its own closet. And this bathroom is intended to be shared by 3 rooms. Let's head into the main block. And this is the entrance to the owner's bedroom, friends. You should note where the doors and cabinet doors are, as well as the wall panels, since everything is modular. Not sure where to go right away. So, if we go into the bedroom, first of all, I must say that it gives a fantastic view from the windows of the bedroom. The bedroom itself is small but cozy. The glazing is quite interesting here. Look, here we have such a beautiful view from the window. We can fully open the window. This is how it works. And look, the railing is designed specifically to the height where the window opens. Again, this detail is about not making the railing the full length, but only up to this point, allowing you to open it and connect with nature to let fresh air into your bedroom. This is the largest 1,000 feet house, likely my favorite project, with glazing on the first floor, and on the second floor, meaning it is fully glazed, such a 100% villa. Here we have a covered terrace, which is a great advantage because it can provide shade on such a hot day, a warm February day in Spain, where one section of the terrace is enclosed and another can be adjusted to allow sunlight into the living room. You can choose to close or open this terrace as you like. Friends, this is the north side. Similar to other projects, the entrance is at road level and there is a closed off part here, so it is a big terrace, about 500 feet in total. That is, these are really very large terraces. And look how the house is completely transparent, meaning that from here we can see the pool over there. In other words, as we get closer to the house, the beauty of your backyard comes into view. So I think this see-through design is key in modern architecture, and we use it in our designs. The same solution is present in Robert's house. If you haven't watched our video about architect Robert's house in Poland, I'll be sure to share a link with you. And this house also features a similar design. It is fully see-through, allowing you to view your entire property as you drive up. And from the back terrace, we can enter the house in two places. From the living room side and from the kitchen side. The kitchen, similar to the previous house, is situated on the opposite side of this first floor space. And as you can see, this terrace also provides access to the house, just like in the earlier project. But here it opens up to a large living area, essentially a TV space. There can be a large party. It is assumed that there will be a TV and plugs are made for outlets. And this is all a soft area with couches, which can be arranged here and generally enjoy socializing or a good movie. The workspace is located just behind this wall, a unique aspect of this project, and we can move here to notice that not only includes a row of additional cabinets for hanging clothes or storing personal items, but also a place to work. These are solid panels, as I noted, and it's essential to remember where the open cabinet parts are and where the solid panels are. The kitchen is situated behind this cube that we can enter, and here we observe that the dining area is combined with the kitchen island and probably has a more understandable layout for us because the refrigerator is accordingly situated near the kitchen countertop, and it is also a double door one, also with servo drives. There is undoubtedly a wine fridge, yes, alongside this stack of microwave and oven. Well, here is the working surface. With these built-in outlets, again, it's all about the details. The cooking area is impressive. This hood pops out when you press a button. Interestingly, it's taller than mine at home, and I believe it will perform better. My hood isn't great. It only captures steam from the front, letting it rise if the pot is further away. It doesn't go into the hood. Here, you see, there's quite a height. I love that there are no typical rooms and hallways. There are spaces you can navigate from various angles, which is a great aspect of the design we adhere to. There's exactly the same bathroom here, so I won't show it, but the staircase is different. It ends with a window instead of a solid wall. In my opinion, it's very beautiful when you ascend to light rather than into a closed space. When we went up the stairs, we noticed a vast line of windows. I love that this house has many see-through designs. Light pours in from everywhere, and right here above the staircase, there's a little platform with a sculpture, and behind it, there's also a window. Every room opens to your private courtyard. They don't face the street, and rather than a dark hallway, there's a glass gallery, and while you walk, you can admire the stunning view too. These rooms are all designed with great attention to details. Give a thumbs up if you'd want to live in a house like this, and I'm curious about which of the 3 houses you'd select. I await your comments. Subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you in the next videos.